Yeah, you will just let people in as they come, right? Okay, so wonderful to be here and to give you this presentation about Lumivitae, which, as you will see, I am very enthusiastic about this technology because it has literally changed my life and so many people around me, that I just felt compelled to share about it and allow access, more and more people allow them access to this beautiful, amazing, super healing, revitalizing technology that is actually so simple to use because we anyway have to drink water, right? We anyway need to drink water. And there is such a huge difference when we actually drink the right water and the best possible water for our body. It's creating a total shift in life for so many people. There are just unbelievable testimonies. So just to share just a sentence about myself, my name is Smadar. I live in Portugal for the past 10 years. I'm a healer in my occupation, in my profession, and a musician. I was always fascinated with the links between spirituality and science. And since my earlier days in my 20s, when I was actually experiencing very severe depression, uh, as I started to come out of it, I found, my calling, my essence. I had to work with what allowed me, and it's an ongoing process, of course, to free myself from all of the noise and pollution that we have from our society, to really find my purpose in life. And that was always linked. So once this bottle came into my life, it was a very obvious thing for me to try it. But what happened to me through it is basically was much greater than my expectations. So with this, I would like to pull up the just one moment a presentation so I can explain to you about this technology so that hopefully you'll be able to spark this this opportunity for so many other people. You're going to be sitting in a very strategic place, and I don't feel that that's how can you say by coincidence, right? So in the beginning there was hydrogen. Hydrogen, I don't know if you know, this is something I also looked up. I didn't have this information in my system. We are living in a cosmos, in a world, in a universe that is basically made of hydrogen. So most of our sun, most of the stars, even most of the molecules in the physical universe, 65% of them are hydrogen molecules. No, excuse me, it's 75%. And in our bodies, we are 65% hydrogen molecules. So that is very interesting. Hydrogen has this ability to spark life, to initiate. It's part of the creation itself. And this is why basically it is so potent once we start drinking it or bringing it into our system. It actively activates life, creates life, sparks life in our system. So imagine this. Yeah, the periodic table. So what if the smallest molecule in the universe held the key to your health and wellness? This is basically what we are coming with. And I want to share a live blood analysis. I'm going to stop sharing here and pop up a new a YouTube video just so you can see in your own eyes what is happening to a person that was dehydrated and how the cells look. And once that person drank from our bottle and received hydrogen into the cells, how basically life is being sparked up and how
This may take a little bit more to shift because this is very rouleau. Okay, so this hasn't just been a day of not having water. This is a much longer time of having a high level of dehydration happening in the body, and therefore we've got a systemic inflammatory terrain that we're looking at. So to change this for the individual would make a huge impact. They would start to feel a real difference from being hydrated. This is a white blood cell here, which is substantially much more constricted than actually even the other two samples. But there is energy in the sample.
But what has happened to this blood?
Can you stop that, please, so that you can see?
Oh. This is the blood we were just looking at before?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is like, wow. I was going to say
This is racing.
blood on fire, but it's blood on hydrogen. Yes.
The extremely inflamed blood.
Wow.
Great. So basically, what I just shared with you, it's the voices are the inventor, Nunu Nina, and the CEO of the company and the head of education. These are real people, and this is a real experiment. It's just condensed, obviously. So yeah, so we don't have to see everything. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the science of molecular hydrogen. Okay, molecular hydrogen. The science actually started only 2007. It's very recent. It's very new in this world, but it's going it's spreading very, very far and very widely and very quickly. One of the first studies that were done, this is what the conclusion that they came to. Molecular hydrogen has the potential to revolutionize medicine as we know it. So this is what we are looking at, and why are researchers so enthusiastic about this molecule? Basically, this is the only antioxidant that reaches the mitochondria and the brain. Because hydrogen, H2, is the smallest molecule in existence, it penetrates deep inside the mitochondria where energy production and aging occur. So it's not enough. You probably heard the word antioxidant, and you know that we are living in a pandemic of oxidative stress. We will talk about that more. But most of the antioxidants, they don't have the ability to go inside of our cells. So they run in the bloodstream. And of course, it's better to take them than not to take them. But they don't have this power to go really where they are needed the most. Okay, and it crosses the blood-brain barrier, reducing brain inflammation, improving focus, and protecting against neurodegenerative diseases. Now, one of the things that really clicked inside my mind once I understood that is that the molecular hydrogen has a selective antioxidant power. It has this intelligence, and what I just shared a few slides ago, that this carries the intelligence of life, right? So it doesn't have this blanket effect that only reduces oxidation, because health is actually a balance and a harmonization between oxidation and reduction. We need certain oxidants in our system, and this is the only antioxidant that knows to select where the body needs the balancing and the reduction, and where it is actually in favor of the body to keep the oxidation. So unlike traditional antioxidants, molecular hydrogen only neutralizes harmful free radicals like hydroxyl radicals, leaving essential ones intact. This means H2 restores balance without unwanted side effects. And this is something that I feel is really important for you to understand, because you're going to be facing questions. Molecular hydrogen has zero side effects and zero harmful. There has been, in all of the 3,000 studies, not a single evidence of any unwanted or undesired effect. That is huge. There is actually no other vitamin or supplement or medicine that has this state. It is so natural to our systems. It is so abundant in the universe that we can very, very safely take it, whether we are children, old people, people suffering from serious disease, or just people that are very happy but want to just become happier with more energy and more harmony inside. So I'm going to go over a few more scientific explanations here. Molecular hydrogen enhances ATP production. ATP is basically inside our cells where there is the production of energy. So this is what gives us energy to live, to focus, to think, to breathe, to be. The fuel source of every cell. This is a huge thing that it touches this aspect. And therefore, athletes, biohackers, longevity experts swear by hydrogen for faster recovery, endurance, and mental clarity. Everyone who drinks molecular hydrogen can say that you have more energy, you have more focus, you have more clarity, you have more inner resources. This is something that I didn't hear anyone say something contradicting. Gut health and immunity. H2 supports gut microbiome balance and reduces intestinal inflammation, benefiting those with IBS, Crohn's disease, autoimmune disorders. It also enhances immune function by regulating immune cell activity. So again, this is huge. Every one of these things is like a multi-million-dollar industry. People are trying to solve these issues for decades and with many, many different approaches. And basically, molecular hydrogen, because of its intelligence, touches all of these things in our system. And of course, longevity and anti-aging. This is something that is very interesting to people. By reducing oxidative stress and inflammation at a cellular level, molecular hydrogen may slow down aging processes, enhance skin health, and support longevity. Again, this is very, very beautiful and very needed. So yes, all of these statements are backed up by scientific research. We have more than 3,000 publications, and it's getting more and more by the day because there is so much interest going on. And it touches more than 200 disease models because the oxidative stress and inflammation are precursors to all of the diseases that we know, most of them, or 200 disease models that we know, that from Alzheimer, Parkinson's, to ADHD, diabetes, all of the gut health issues, anything. Basically, I just have one from my team that had inflammation on the eye. This, I don't remember the name. He just put a few drops of hydrogen on it and it disappeared. Okay, so just a sample, and this will be kind of a brief of all the things that we touched upon on where molecular hydrogen supports and benefits: immune support, gut health, anti-aging, mental health, neuroprotective, cancer support, hormonal health, fitness, and recovery. So this is a very, very vast area. So is molecular hydrogen the future of medicine? Many experts in the world really believe so. But we can probably most definitely say that it is the future of water. Basically, that the future of water is hydrogen activated. And this is really part of Lumivitae's mission, is to turn water into wellness. And I'm just now about to, in a few moments, going to show you how we do it with our technology. Just a few words about water. Water is more than just hydration. It's a carrier of life's intelligence. I don't know if some of you may have heard about Masaru Emoto and his studies. It was already maybe 20 years ago when it came out about how our emotion and our intention and music and frequency basically totally changed the molecular structure of water. We know that water carries intelligence. There is this very beautiful quote that I put here that says, "A drop of water if it could write out its own history, would explain the universe to us. And this is the thing with water. It's a carrier of information, and it is a link from the unmanifested world of the unified field into the manifested world, into reality as we know it. There is much more that I love to talk about water and consciousness and frequency and sacred geometry. And I would probably come to philosophy to share these types of information with the time. But for now, it's just a hint. It's just a hint because we have a lot to cover. So what we do with our Lumivitae vessel is that we combine these two extra potent forces of molecular hydrogen, bringing the consciousness of the universe, the spark of life, the optimal vitality into water, and basically raising the frequency of our water and allowing the water that we drink, instead of just being something that, okay, maintains our health, but we age and decay over time, to something that activates us from within to live our life, to live our purpose, and to be in our best optimal health, wealth, and connection to life. I would use that word. Now we are living in very troubled times all over the world, right? One of the things that is very rarely talked about is that 75% of the people are chronically dehydrated. This is, wow, it's like if you really take a moment to take it in, this means a lot. And it actually, in my eyes, also explains a lot about the basic madness and anxiety and total friction that we see in the world. Now, the difference between a dehydrated state and a hydrated state, we can use a metaphor. I don't know if people here are old enough to remember when internet started. Do you remember, if you were again on the planet at this time, that it would take a couple of minutes for a page to upload? And there would be this sound like there was a dial-up system, like, and you would have to listen and really wait for the page and all of this. Not to talk about downloading things that didn't even exist. So this is when we are dehydrated. The system is kind of struggling to bring about all the information. And just if you take a moment to think about how much tons of information is happening in our system, just so we would be able to exist and to live and digest and think and articulate ourselves. There's so much energy that our system needs to carry and bring forth. A hydrated state, it's like basically we can go into 5G or something like that, right? There's just a capacity to run energy so much smoother and in a potent way. I wanted to say something about this, but I don't remember, so we keep going. Okay, this is basically summary of, if you don't remember, because there's a lot of information here, if you have to summarize basically your understanding of the potency of molecular hydrogen, I would ask you to remember these two terms: oxidative stress and inflammation, that are linked to nearly every major disease. So if we have the possibility, and we do have the possibility, to harmonize and balance that, then we are putting our health in a much higher standard. Again, molecular hydrogen turns water into a powerful wellness tool, combating dehydration and oxidative stress simultaneously. This is what I wanted to say. Hydrogen, meaning hydrogen is actually the hydrating factor inside our water. So it's not necessarily that we drink water and become hydrated. Our water actually needs to carry hydrogen, which it does, our regular water, but in tiny, tiny, tiny amounts. Once we drink therapeutic amounts of hydrogen, our water actually becomes hydrating. And like I shared in the beginning, transform your water, transform your world This is the evidence, the testimonies that everyone is sharing. So now I would like to go into the actual technology itself so I can explain how this works and give you some insight into questions that you will probably face in your day-to-day. So Lumivitae, what it means is light of life. First of all, just so you understand, and now probably after hearing me, you have a better understanding of why this name was chosen for this bottle, for this vessel. The first thing that we look at is the lid. The lid is a frequency machine that has actually three frequencies that we can use that charge the water. As we charge it with hydrogen, on top of that, we also charge the water with frequency. And this is something so deep and so beautiful that structures the molecules inside the water. And all of these technologies together, I will share all the technologies now, they create this magic water, okay? So recovery supports the reduction of oxidative stress and the restoration of yin energy, basically allowing us to relax, to recover, to nourish ourselves. Super important. And in our world today, it's very rare. Energy. When we need more energy, it stimulates cellular oxidation. So we do need oxidation, okay? When we run around and we do things, when we want to think clearly, then we have this possibility to bring more energy in our system. And this light of life, this is also a frequency that we can emit from this lid, which means like being kissed from the sun. It's like this, the plants, right? They grab the energy of light and turn it into potential energy. So this is the same frequency that we can use. So we have three frequencies in the lid: energy, recovery, and Lumivitae, light of life, mimicking the energy of the sun. If I just to give you an explanation, it's like if you take an apple and you just immediately, when you pick it from the tree, it will have this amount of vitality, right? It will be like you are sucking life force out of that apple. Versus if that apple, went into the supermarket, but it had to like wait 2, 3, 4 weeks until it reached the supermarket, and it was probably taken before it was actually ripe, then this is basically what this frequency does to us. It restores this natural vitality. Great. And then, so this is the part of the frequency that is coming from the lid. Now, from the magnet, the base, we have a natural-like magnetic field. This is a technology by itself that calibrates to the Earth's frequency, the Schumann resonance of Earth. So this makes the water very grounding, very regulating to the nervous system. And this is very, very important in our world when we are constantly in technology, full of screens, full of pollution. These things really affect our energy field. So having these magnets really, really helps to restore the integrity of our electromagnetic field. And then we have the purest therapeutic hydrogen. This is the essence of the bottle. It's not the only thing. Like I explained, there is a calibration, a fusion of multiple technologies. But this is something also very important to understand, that Nunu Nina, the inventor of this bottle, was not happy with the other bottles in the market. If I have time, I will share his story and why he created this bottle. But he created a PEM membrane. PEM membrane is a proton exchange membrane with the highest integrity and purity, which means that only the hydrogen molecules go inside the water and nothing else. And this is very important because there are a lot of other hydrogen bottles in the market because of all of this scientific evidence. People know about it and people try to imitate this technology, But if it is not held in the purest way with the highest quality, then this has the potential to be actually very harmful because there is an electrolysis process that once it is applied, if it is not with the purest and highest quality materials, it can damage the water. It can bring in different toxins like chlorine and actually to leak heavy metals inside. So when you buy a hydrogen bottle, you really want to make sure that the quality of the water will be really, really good. And this is what we have in this bottle, of course. And the thing that we have also is chromotherapy, which basically allows us to choose the color. I'm going to show in just a moment how to turn on and off in this, so that you see. Yeah, and our bottle has the certificate from H2 Analytics, which is a third party. Okay, and it's very hard to get all of these certificates, and it basically tells you that you have the therapeutic amount of hydrogen and only hydrogen you are gonna take in that sense, and not any of the toxicities that are produced in the other bottles. Yeah, so basically this is about the turning water into wellness. The fusion of all of these technologies, of the frequency from the lid, the purest hydrogen, the magnets, and if you also want the colors is an addition in my eyes, which is a very beautiful one. But these three technologies is what makes the water so potent, so bioavailable, and so, yeah, miraculously good for the body. I will just read this last paragraph and then I will show you how to actually turn on and off the technology. The same molecular hydrogen that ignites the birth of galaxies pulses within us. It is the genesis of all energy, the primal force that fuels life itself, a bridge between the infinite cosmos and the cells that sustain us. Just as the stars burn with unwavering brilliance, we too are destined to shine, to elevate, to transform. This is more than wellness. It is a revolution, a calling, a movement of light bearers reclaiming their power. We are not just dreamers, we are creators, architects of a new reality. We are the fire, the frequency, the future, and now we ignite. Yeah, so thank you all of you for being part of this revolution and for bringing this light.